Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. I'm so excited to talk with you today just for a few minutes. I'm going to keep this fairly short, but I wanted to let you know what one of the biggest superfoods that you can incorporate into your diet is starting today to really change the course of your health. And without further ado, I'm going to let you know what that superfood is. It's avocado. So you guys have probably heard of some of the health benefits of avocados. I want to go over about 10 different benefits of avocados. Excuse my dog, she has a bad cough. But as far as the health benefits, so I took some notes here because there were too many to just recite off the top of my head. So I'm going to refer to my notes a little bit to make sure that I cover everything. So number one is just the nutritional profile in general of avocados. So there are 20 different vitamins and minerals in avocados. Things like vitamin A, B, C, E, vitamin K. There's also minerals like potassium, magnesium, copper, zinc, iron. So tons of vitamins and minerals loaded into the avocado. Now, one avocado, medium-sized avocado, is about 160 calories. We don't really, if you are someone who really looks at nutrients and things like that, you know that it's really not about counting calories. It's really more about the nutritional profile. Okay, we really need to count things more like chemicals and toxins than we do calories. So 160 calories, and there are also 2 grams of protein, 15 grams of fat. Now that might sound like something negative to some of you, but that's actually a great thing because this is full of nothing but healthy fats. So your monounsaturated fats, which is what we want, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. It does have 9 grams of carbs, but 7 of those are from fiber. So if you look at things like net carbs, there are only 2 net carbs. So it's not really a big deal. It is considered a low carb fruit, whereas most fruits do have lots of carbs in them, more so, of course, than fats. Again, excuse my dog. She has a bad cough. There is no cholesterol, there is no sodium, it's low in saturated fat, so just overall good healthy fat. So that's number one, is just the overall nutritional profile. The next is the amount of potassium that these avocados have. So when you think of a high potassium food, you probably think mostly of bananas. That would be the first thing, that would come to mind. Well, these have more potassium than bananas. So people who have problems with blood pressure, high blood pressure, sometimes their potassium levels can be a little bit low. We know that maintaining normal potassium levels can help to maintain a healthy blood pressure. So that's really important to have, a good potassium level. The third thing are the heart healthy fats that I mentioned. So these monounsaturated fats are actually really healthy for us. They're really good for heart health. And I talk to my patients a lot about this, but looking at cholesterol levels. So I did look at some of the studies that had been done on avocados and the amount of cholesterol lowering that they could provide, which was really, really interesting to me. So I'll just kind of give you some of the numbers real quick in case you're a numbers person. So there have been studies to show that eating an avocado on a daily basis has been shown to decrease LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, the one that we don't want to have high levels of, decrease LDL by 22%, which is a lot. I mean, that's really a lot. Some medications don't even decrease it that much. They've also been shown to increase HDL, which is our, hey Donna, which is our healthy fat. So think H happy, L lousy is usually what I tell people. So the LDL is bad, the HDL is good. So as far as HDL, they've been shown to increase HDL by 11%. Triglycerides is another part of the lipid profile that we also look at, and they can lower triglycerides by 20%. So those are, those are some really good benefits, some really good numbers there. So that's number 3, the healthy fats. Now, I did want to mention before I move on, you can also get avocado oil, which is really great for cooking. Sometimes I use it in salad dressing, sometimes I just use it to saute vegetables, that type thing. But the nice thing is it can hold up, it can maintain its nutritional benefits and its antioxidant properties under high heat. So that's a really nice benefit to it. So you can cook with it and not feel like you've lost any of those benefits. So that's great too. Number 4, fiber. The fiber content. Some fruits and vegetables do have fiber in them, but really not near as much as avocado. Avocado is considered a fruit. I didn't mention that up front, but some people think it's a vegetable. It's actually considered a fruit. But the fiber content in one avocado is 7 grams. So that's really a lot. And what does healthy fiber do for us? Well, it helps with our gut health, right? So it helps, things just move through easily and just maintain, a good gut health. Fiber also helps to lower cholesterol. So that's probably one of the additional reasons that we can get some cholesterol lowering benefits from avocado is just from the fiber content. And then fiber can also help prevent blood sugar spikes, blood glucose spikes. So this would be something that would be great for diabetics to include in their diet as well. As far as the 7 grams of fiber, that equals 27% of the recommended daily allowance, just kind of so you know how much that is. And that's a pretty good portion, about 1/3 of the recommended daily fiber. Number 5 is absorption of nutrients from other foods. And this is probably something that we don't really think about a lot. We think we're eating all of these fruits and vegetables that have all these vitamins and minerals, which is awesome. But you know what? If your body can't absorb them and use them, then what good is eating all the fruits and vegetables? So really, it's important to include the right amount of fat when you are consuming vegetables and fruits, because what that does is it helps your body. So some nutrients are fat soluble, meaning that they actually need some fat there, in the digestive tract to absorb, for those nutrients to be absorbed. So that's why it's really important to have a good balance of fat with other vegetables and fruits that have a high nutrient profile. It just helps you absorb them better. And I'll tell you how you can do that, how you can incorporate some of those together at the end. So that was number 5. Number 6 is eye protection. So avocados have lutein in them, which is really great for eye health. There have been studies to show that consuming avocados on a regular basis can help to prevent macular degeneration and also cataracts, the development of cataracts, which is great. Number 7, this is pretty big, I think. There have been studies looking at cancer and cancer cells and the effect that consuming avocados on a daily basis may have on cancer cells. And they found that as far as in the prostate, that there has been some inhibition of growth of cancer cells with consuming regular avocados. So essentially, you could cut down on your risk for developing prostate cancer if you consume avocados regularly, which is pretty big, because prostate cancer is extremely common in men, especially as their age progresses. Arthritis is number 8. So arthritis, how many people do you know that suffer with arthritis? You may be one of them. And some forms of arthritis, there is an inflammatory component. So avocados have been shown to decrease the symptoms of arthritis. And that may be because they are highly anti-inflammatory. So this would be great to incorporate if you were somebody with arthritis, maybe even chronic joint pain, because of the anti-inflammatory benefits. All right, number 9 is weight loss. So, so many people out there struggle with maintaining a healthy weight. If you incorporate avocado into your diet every day, that can really help with weight maintenance, with maintaining a healthy weight. And the reason is the fiber content, okay? So you're gonna get fuller, longer, you're gonna feel more satisfied because not only have you had the fiber, but you've also had the healthy fat. So really, I think shifting our mindset to realize that fat is not the enemy. You know, the real enemy is sugar and chemicals. So if you're looking at your food, if you go into your pantry or your refrigerator and you're looking at, you know, the food that you have there, think about how many chemicals or toxins may be in it, so anything processed, and think about the sugar content. Those are the things that are really causing most of the diseases and chronic conditions that we see today. So as long as it's a healthy fat, again, that's what you want. So weight loss and maintaining a healthy weight is huge. And then reason number 10 would be how easy these really are to incorporate into your diet. And that's what I want to share with you now, some ways that I use them and hopefully ways to encourage you to start incorporating them. Now, you know, you may be someone who already loves avocado. Maybe you love guacamole. That's probably the most common way to see avocados used. But you may be like me. Until probably, I'd say probably 3 years ago, I did not like avocado. I always wanted to like it because I knew that it was a healthy food, but I didn't. My taste buds, I just didn't like it. So I thought one day, you know what? I'm going to see if I can train my taste buds to learn to like this awesome superfood. And I know that I've read before, probably different sources, this may vary a little bit, but I know that I've read before that it takes about 12 times to taste something for your taste buds to adjust and for you, to come to like it. So I've done this with several things actually. I did this with tomatoes as well. I used to not like tomatoes. So a couple ways that if you are not someone who likes avocado, easy first way is to incorporate it into a smoothie. So anytime, smoothies, you're mainly going to be having fruits, maybe some protein if you choose to, put some seeds or nuts or protein powder in them. But remember I said it's extremely important to incorporate fat into those meals that, have foods with high vitamin and mineral content like fruits and vegetables, because that's going to really help our body be able to absorb those nutrients best. So into a smoothie. I do this to my kids' smoothie all the time. You cannot taste it. They do not know the difference. Don't tell them because they won't drink it if you tell them. But what I like to do is whatever smoothie you like, you can just blend up, a base of whether it's some type of nut milk, coconut milk, almond milk, cashew milk, and then maybe incorporate some greens, some spinach or kale. And then I like to put just frozen fruits. So strawberries, bananas, maybe some mango, pineapple, that kind of thing. And then put either a fourth or a half of an avocado and blend all that up. And I promise you, it is delicious. You can't even taste the avocado. So that's way number one that I would suggest if you are someone who does not love the taste of avocado, start incorporating it into a smoothie. Then the second way that I would say I learned to like avocados was to actually cook them, which sounds very strange, but I promise you this is totally delicious. So if you have, I use like a griddle pan, but you could use just a cast iron skillet, non-stick skillet, whatever. Put it on about a medium heat, put a little bit of cooking spray or olive oil in the pan, and cut your avocado into slices and just place it in the pan, leave it there until it gets toasted and kind of golden brown, and then flip it, do the same thing on the other side. A little bit of salt and pepper, put that on a whole grain cracker, or even just eat it. Sometimes I eat it with eggs in the morning. Delicious. It totally changes the flavor from just a raw avocado, which is what I was not always super fond of. I promise you, it changes it to sort of a nutty, just really nice flavor. It's also good to drizzle a little bit of lemon juice on that. If you're eating it on a cracker, that tastes really, really good. Other ways to use avocado are just to chop it up and put it in a salad. Obviously, guacamole. If you're having something like fajitas, that would be great as well. And I did want to show you just a couple tips about how to know if the avocado are ripe. So obviously when you go into the store, you can kind of, give it a little squeeze. You don't want to squeeze it really hard, but if it gives just a little bit, it's probably ripe. But there's usually this little sort of eye right here. I don't know if you can see that. Mine has already popped out of here on this particular avocado. But normally if that is intact and you pop that out, if it is green underneath, then that means that it's ripe and ready to go. Mine has already turned brown because it popped out a few days ago. But anyway, those are two ways to help you know if the avocado is ripe. So what I like to do is I'm just going to show you real quick. Just take your knife and then run it around the avocado. And then just open it up, and you can see, because I already let the eye pop out, you can actually see this one. There's a little area here that doesn't look so great. But the rest of it looks really good. And you know what? I do this all the time. Just spoon that little area out, discard that. The rest of it is totally fine. I don't waste anything, so the rest of it's totally fine to eat. Then the way that you can store it so that, I don't eat the whole thing at once, so I'll usually keep half of it. Then what you want to do is I leave the pit in the other half until I'm ready to use it. And after I scoop out maybe half of this side, I'll just place it back together just like this, stick it in the fridge. And that's all you need to do. The reason that they turn brown is because they oxidize just like when they're exposed to air, just like an apple would. So you could put like some plastic wrap over it if you wanted to, but I just pop it in the fridge just like this. Also, when you're ready to take that pit out, if you take a really sharp knife and you just sort of pop it into the center of it and twist it, it'll come right out. So that makes it really easy. And I tend to store my avocado on the counter until they are ripe, if I bring them home and they're not ripe at first. Until they're ripe, I'll store them on the counter, and then if I'm not gonna go ahead and eat them right away, I'll place them into the refrigerator, because that will slow down the ripening process a little bit. Now, if you wanted to speed up the ripening process, you can take a banana along with your avocado and place it into a paper bag, it could even be a plastic bag, tie it up, leave it on the counter for a day, maybe 2 days, and it will speed up the ripening of the avocado. So you can see that this is one superfood that has tons of benefits that I would encourage you to start incorporating into your diet. If you don't already love it, then start with some of those really simple and easy ways that I mentioned. So I hope this was helpful. Please post any questions or comments that you have, and I'll be happy to answer them. See you guys next time. Bye.